or after the live. I greatly appreciate you. If you're new or if you're finding your way back to this community, I need you just as much as you need me. And I greatly appreciate you taking the time to tune in this evening. I think there's a little extra buzz this evening just because Bitcoin's over 50K right now. We've got a lot of impending things at the moment. I will get to each and every comment as we go forward, and I'll do my best to keep this on track. I want to go into the comments very quickly when we get started here after I timestamp this, but we're going to go over a few things that I think are very pertinent for what we're going over right now. So with Bitcoin being over 50,000, that's a big thing. We're going to talk about the 70% surge in XRP's volume, or the better than 860 million in new volume that came in related to the US dollars. So that's a substantial amount that we're finding coming into XRP right now. But also with Bitcoin, 50,000, is that the new line in the sand? And it looks like we're going to hold it for the close right now. Now we need to see, can we stick it at 50 and can it continue to move up? That'll have greater implications across the market. But we will take a heavy deep dive into XRP. If you're an XRP holder and you're watching me right now, don't lose hope. The number one thing I keep saying with XRP, and it seems like it should be a trend, is that I'm done with XRP. It's nothing but a shit token. It's never going to go up. It'll never see $1 again. But what most people fail to realize, and we'll go over this as well, we've been in a 6-year consolidation. I'm going to continue to show this, where we had all-time highs at about $3.60 plus cents on January of 2018. And we completed the uptrend, which is the price floor. And it took until March of 2020, and it dropped all the way from around 360 to about 10 cents. So that pattern's been formed since 2018, the uptrend since 2020, and it's converging right now. It's still in the exact same formation. Even when it went through the mini bear market rally in 21, that was misdiagnosed as a bull market, where you can't have a bull market if not everybody's made whole. So for that fact, we've been converging and building pressure for 6 years. That cannot be said unlightly. That can't be taken lightly, and I'll get into that and show everybody who's new. And if you're not new and you're returning, you'll be able to get another dose of the entirety of this pattern formation. So let me get into the intro very quickly, and then I'm going to go over comments, and we got to get into this very quickly. Good evening, 6:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, February 12th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. No doubt about it, there's a little bit of excitement in the crypto market today. Wow. A lot of comments going in the very beginning here. Let me read these and catch up, and then we'll get into this. Walls, welcome in. Everything is green moving forward. Looks pretty good right now. We'll take a look and see what all these implications are. Shitoshi, welcome in. First, Tam, welcome in. 967 million. It's still too low to increase the price. David Nikiza, welcome in. Hamza, welcome. George, good evening. Stanley, Crypto Bob. And Stanley, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 2 years with that 589 emoji badge. I appreciate you showing me that continued support. Only one in the chat. Well, Mo is also in Tom's Army. He's got the 5-month badge, the XRP Meteor. I appreciate that, my friend. George, welcome in. It's not like there's a problem. I know it. Kyle Kupiak, welcome in. Elias Dalton, good evening. Harvey Boy, Michael Hudson, Anthony Venegas, and Richard, good evening. Wow, only one person is still in Tom's Army with everybody in here. That's incredible. Let's get moving here. XRP's up 1.2% or at 53.2 cents. XRP, and if you're watching right now, please do me the kindness of hitting that like button so we can help push us through the YouTube recommendations so that we can expand our audience and try to expand the viewership as well with the wider base and new faces as well. So XRP right now is at that pivotal point. It's at the 53.4 cent level. Right now, that's a big pivot point. If we can get above that, we can work our way up to the descending triangle resistance, which is right at about 56 cents. This is a pattern we've been stuck in for quite some time. Not this shorter part of the pattern, but the overall rising channel that if we were to break through this, then you could try to come back up to about 66, 67 cents. We do have a pivot point at 60 cents. That's going to be pretty major. But we do have a lot of built up pressure. As far as what's going on leading into the daily close, if we can get a close above that 200-day or at least above that 534 pivot, which I know the 200-day is about to converge with it right now, but XRP is at 531, so we're under right now. We're under that 534 pivot point at the same time. I joined the team today, I think. Well, I know I paid. Well, Kyle, I'll know if you're part of it because it has an emoji badge next to your name. That's how you know you're part of the army. That's how I know. So, that's my only indicator. But up 1.1% at 53.19 cents. So, 534. If we did get smacked there and we're like, okay, well, we just can't get up past here. We've already back tested here, so it'd be kind of surprising if we don't finish this move. I mean, it looks like we want to not just finish this move. We could have higher ambitions here. XRP is very, very, very manipulated right now. It's undervalued in a sense. It's just, before I get super excited here, we need to get out of what looks like a head and shoulders formation. We do have this nice W reversal here, which is what I like to see. We called it before it started moving up that this could possibly play out. Our community was we were pretty on target with this one, ladies and gentlemen. And honestly, I can't thank everybody enough for being here once again. In a time of high volatility, I believe these are the times when you really need to pay attention. If you're an XRP holder, I know it's been a long, long road here. And a lot might be losing their wits. They might be losing that motivation to keep with it. But I promise you, if you continue to stay true to this, there's something bigger at the end of the tunnel. We've had such a big convergence on price for 6 years. 6 years. That if you're willing to get rid of it in the sense after this kind of consolidation, someone's going to be very, very disappointed. Someone's going to be very, very disappointed if they start watching this, because this is when it started. This is when the all-time high started. This is when this pattern started. That's the first hit of the downtrending resistance. You can see resistance too there. We've never actually hit a third hit of resistance, believe it or not. It never came up high enough. That's why I'm still speculating that we can still come up in the formation. Now, some people would say, oh, well, Tom, couldn't you just lower it and make it hit? I mean, I could. But when I first chose to do this, this was how it was set up. I can't help that it didn't come high enough, and I'm sure not going to change it because I know where it has to hit or where it could hit. So then we've got the 2 hits of resistance. So now, as you remember, I talked about in the opening, March of 2020, roughly. That's down here. March of 2020, what is that? March 17th, 2020 is when it hit the uptrend and held for the first time. That's when it broke out of the all-time uptrend, right here. That's a very big monumental moment in XRP's history right here. After the run to all-time highs, this is where it finally said, we're getting off of the all-time uptrend. We're going to take our new road. And it stayed true to it since 2020 in March. So now the price is converging. Now we're converging within a triangle. You can call it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter to me. I'll call it a triangle. Just for purposes so everybody can... well, I mean, it does matter to me what you call it, but I don't want you to get caught up with just some terminology that you're like, oh, it could go this way or that way because of the way it's said. Just understand this is converging right now. We've had a very big consolidation. This has been consolidating for almost it's been 6 years. This started in January 2018. The true consolidation started once we hit the floor on March of 2020. We were consolidating down, but we weren't consolidating within a range. The next time we only hit $1.98 when we went up. For the second time. The third time, we came all the way through. Yeah, we had a little bear market rally. The third time we've come through so far, and we only came up to 95 cents. So now it leaves you to wonder, what's going on here? That was a failed cup. That's why we came down so far. We didn't quite finish off the cup, and it failed. But we're still within the same formation. If you are watching, please make sure to hit that like button. 67 people watching, 42 likes. I think the audience can do a little bit better than that. I think I believe in my audience enough to know that you respect me enough for my time that you will at the very least hit that like button so that I can help expand my content and reach new viewers, and we can help force YouTube to push us through the recommendations. There's no greater joy than when YouTube pushes this content through the recommendations. The Gatman, welcome in, another member of Tom's Army, and one year or more in Tom's Army, as he's got the I told you so badge. I thank you so much for that, and that continued support. Is the ones in Tom's Army truly help me do what I do here, help me live my dream. I don't charge anybody for my content, so at the very least I ask, just show me some support at least once a month. The support I've gotten right now is the lowest I've had in 3 years, believe it or not. So it's truly a tough time in the community. But the uptrending support, not 3 years, about a good year and a half, 2 years. The uptrending support that we're trying to hold is within this formation. It's this uptrend that started in 2020. We rode it even when we went up to $1.98 again. We came back through, and this uptrend managed to hold. And we started bouncing out of here, and that was about 28.5. Came back up, hit it again on the uptrend in November of 22 at 33.5. Hit it again in January of 23 at 34.1. Hit it again in March of 2023. Now we've just kind of been consolidating above it. We've yet to hit this resistance again. And if we do continue to push this up, this would be a beautiful spot to hit on resistance around 75 cents. So that's what I'm looking at. That's the overall formation right now. Now, when you break it down into the smaller subsections, that's how we get into the little descending triangle that we're in right now. That's how we can see the rising channel. That's the little longer pattern that started in 22 in June. So once you start to be able to dissect that, then you can start to kind of front run this to the next areas. As we see at 7:02 p.m., Bitcoin, it didn't close over 50K. Well, I'll be damned. All that work it did, and it had actually had a daily close under 50. I mean, we're not going to read too much into that, but that is pretty interesting. How many of you were in here when this was just about to start, when Bitcoin, or when I first started and Bitcoin was at like 50,000, what was it, 65 when I first came on the air, and it was just a few minutes before. It was just a few minutes before the close, actually. So that's pretty interesting that Bitcoin closed under 50,000. There's no implications there. It's interesting it closed under that psychological level. Now the goal today is for Bitcoin to get over 50,327 and not start showing some kind of topping here. Angela, hola, thank you for being in Tom's Army for over a year. It's a joy to have you here as well, love. Like, seriously. The ones in Tom's Army make my heart sing. Only because you have no idea how you help me stay here each and every day. Like, I don't think enough people understand. Like, one day you could wake up and I'll have to do advertisements. I'll be damned if I ever do that, but maybe I might have to. The only reason I don't right now are the members of Tom's Army. That's the honest to God truth. And the ones who send a YouTube super chat every now and then to keep it real. George, speaking of which, thank you for the $5 super chat. I greatly appreciate that. You scratch my back, I scratch your back, and not make you sit through the BS. But we all got to make a living, remember that. Marco El Camino. Hi from Hal if we don't get over and stay over 53.3 cents. Ooh, he's getting into something. And I'm thinking he's talking about that pivot level. 53.3 cents. Expect a retest of 523. Otherwise, a bounce to 556 is expected. This is a trader's coin, right? Yes, and indeed it is a trader's coin. So with Bitcoin, remember, we were playing the lower, but remember what I had on here from the beginning. We had, this was the outstretched. So we didn't know if we could get up there on the first test, but the important was we had to take that off and put this part in because we had the resistance and it had to get over the short scale broadening wedge. Now you can expand it. Now you can put it into an expandable wedge if you want and kind of see how high it can go. But Bitcoin right now, we're teetering. I think we're going to start to figure some things out very quickly. The fact we close under 50K, that's either a trick or that's the first sign that Bitcoin might have to come back down to retest some areas. It's been a fantastic few days here. It's unfortunate that XRP closed where it did as well, not over 53.4 cents to my knowledge. I'll go check in a sec. So with Bitcoin, what we're watching, because I don't want to take a lot of time on Bitcoin, we'll see as it transpires as we go along during this live. Let's see. Oh, I see. Trading with J-Ride, welcome in. I greatly appreciate you tuning in, my friend. Greatly appreciate it. Marco, thank you for the great job. I appreciate that. And Trading with J-Ride, thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP, or the 589 badge, the XRP 589 badge. JW, welcome and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over a year with the I Told You So badge. That's pretty cool. So, I mean, we're going to see if this flags out here. We're going to see if this is a flag here and we actually push up to the last layer here at 53,298. That's what we'll be intrigued to see. Would love to see XRP dump. Well, you might get your wish. We'll see. It really depends on what Bitcoin's going to do. If Bitcoin doesn't fly here to start this close, it's going to be interesting. We'll see. It's always an ominous feeling when the fact it closed under 50 or 50K. XRP closed under its pivot point as well. It closed over the first tier breakout attempt, but it closed under a very key pivot point. To me, it's 534. Somebody else said 533, so we're in the same area. Everything was almost spot on to mine. Off by maybe a tenth from what I'm seeing, or at least from what my target is. But I'm not, these are just pivot points, so the area is correct. So the fact somebody else is seeing that, I wanted to see a close over 534. This doesn't mean we can't rally right away. I'm just saying, you're looking for optics to start, so maybe from a technical trading standpoint, that could throw someone off. We also want to see a volatile swing to the upside here for Bitcoin to start. We really don't want to see some further retest down. No, I take that back. If we have a further retest down, I forgot to say, you don't want to come below this pivot point first layer if you're trying to extend out still without a further retest. 49,151 is that pivot point you're going to want to hold. Otherwise, you're going to first layer come down to the actual broadening wedge. Resistance, the first here, at 47,568. If for some reason Bitcoin said, you know what? We still need more pressure. We don't have enough topside liquidity. And we're coming down more for some more distribution to see where the value's at. If it happened to break this, underneath you would have 46,354. And underneath that you would have 44K, which was the old bull flag, before it expanded into a wedge, a broadening wedge. So just consider that. As of right now, I am looking for a push up, being cautiously optimistic only because it closed under 50K, but still understanding until the rally's over, it's not over. But all rallies come to an end and nothing goes straight up. So if you're looking to buy Bitcoin, be cautious right now. I mean, it's just had a hell of a run to 50K. If you're looking to buy your assets, make sure that things are continuing to move up. And if you haven't bought them yet, ask yourself why. Why would you buy it after? Let's say everything goes up 30%, would you rather buy it now or before it goes up? And if it goes down 15%, are you okay with it? Or 20%? That's what you need to ask yourself in this time of volatility, because then at least you'll know if, hey, I'm okay with where we're at right now in the price action, or if it goes down from here, I'm not happy with these prices. No, John, you won't care, but it's not about the ad money. No, you're not understanding. YouTube, very small ad revenue if you see an ad. I'm talking about the paid promotions, my friend. I come on here and I'm backed by some product, or backed by some exchange, or backed by somebody who's throwing dollars at me, and they're going to want it dictated a certain way. You know, I insert station A, B, C, and all the way through on YouTube into this box to check it. I would like to not do that. But yeah, that's Bitcoin, XRP. In relation to Bitcoin, we could still flag out here. It's not like we're crazy out of control here. Obviously, that 534 is a big pivot point. But just because it didn't close over, it doesn't mean that it's over. You know, even if it comes down, there's still a lot that can happen. But we still should be targeting up here to finish out this descending triangle. The fact we closed over this area, we could be laddering up. We definitely could be laddering up. Oh, I've been backing it up for 3 years, or 2.5 years. But guess what, Marco? I put in a hell of a lot of work. So, there's an even point. If you appreciate what I do, you've also got to put in your work and back up what you believe in as well. You know, so it goes both ways, homie. Ripple XRP trading volume up nearly 70% as price may follow. So this is very interesting with the price as far as the percentages. I put out 4,300 videos in 2.5 years. There's a lot of time put in there and a lot of information that's been being put out. I've also led this community astray, or never led this community astray, and always told the truth, and got us up from 47 cents on average to over $1.66 to sell in 21, and then we kept doing it. That's why we stay positive. Yep, we stay positive. So positivity is a key thing in this community. But I definitely like what we're building here, and I think we're doing something special. And if we continue to stay true to ourselves until 28, this whole conversation will be irrelevant. Amid what has been a volatile turn of events for the digital asset, Ripple XRP has seen its trading volume increase by nearly 70% as its price may follow. Specifically, data from CoinGlass has shown a 68.2% surge in trading volume over the past 24 hours alone. Subsequently, that increase has led to a trading volume total of more than 867 million. Additionally, CoinMarketCap has noted that the 24-hour spot market volume for XRP has eclipsed 837 million. Therefore, the combined trading volume figures have easily exceeded 1 billion with interest regaining. So that's interesting. So, during the final months of 2023, Ripple experienced a plethora of anticipation as to how it could perform in the coming year. Many expected its legal troubles. Well, I don't want to get into this part of the trading volume. I want to get into this. So that has led to its combined trading volume reached more than 1 billion, noting a key resurgence of interest from investors. However, that has not yet led to any significant movement in its price. Over the last 24 hours, the asset is still trading at the 53-cent level and only up less than 1%. It actually is at like 532, so just over a percent, but nothing major. Additionally, throughout the last day, XRP has been listed among the top liquidated digital assets on the market, specifically 190,000 worth of XRP positions, because XPR is actually another crypto. Yeah. Make sure that positions have been liquidated over 4 hours. Moreover, more than 99% of those liquidations had come from long positions. That 190,000 worth, that's not very much in long positions. That development is likely a byproduct of the underachievement of the overall XRP price. Subsequently, in the near term, the asset has greatly struggled to regain any kind of upward momentum. Although small gains have been noted, there has not been any significant change or alteration in its course. And remember, we have a price floor right now on XRP. If we continue the same uptrend we're in, or in the same formation that started in January 2018, uptrend as we showed at the beginning of the show, started in March of 2020. That uptrend formation is still around 38 cents if you come down. Joshua, thank you so much for the $1.99. Yes, indeed. Pay it forward, guys, he says. Greatly appreciate that. Greatly appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we flag out here. We break the 534 and we come up into this area and we start making a nice move. Oh man, we deserve it. We deserve it. We deserve it, but I'm very optimistic. And I also pay attention very closely as well for the ebb and flows. Where is... Because I wanted to... Here it is. I want to relax with everybody. I'm going to have a little relaxation on today's show. So if you are a fan of cannabis, I say relax because I don't like the connotations that are associated with it. I broke my back when I was 23 back in 2006. And I didn't start smoking cannabis until after. It was a godsend. They had tried to put me on every pain medication known to man, and this got me off of them all. Haven't touched any of it in 17 years now almost. So, but I would love to hear the input. Did it say, wow, I didn't realize we had 94 people here. Please make sure you hit that like button. Only 65 likes. If you hit that like button, it'll assure when somebody comes in here and they see 94 people, they're going to say, oh, only 65 people hit the like button. The least I ask of my audience is to hit that like button. If you appreciate the work I put in, if you appreciate the vision I have, or you just think XRP is worth holding, hit that like button. If you don't want to hit that like button, in lieu of it, how about you take the next step and join Tom's Army and pay it forward, or send a YouTube super chat and say, you know what? You are worth my time, but I'm still not hitting that like button. If that's the way you feel about it, that's fine. But hitting that like button will drive more people into this great community. It'll drive more people into more conversation with each and every one of you, because that's what we need. We need more talk. We need more positive buzz. The worst thing about the XRP community right now is the negativity. We've got the negative connotation attached to it. Most people associated that are from the outside say, oh, everybody just says it's going to 10,000, but then it never goes up. So now everybody says, oh, that's the token that never hits $1. You know how many times I've heard that? So you know what you do? You buy it when you can get 2 for $1, 3 for $1. You continue to stack up. If I didn't buy it at 34.6 and was comfortable with where I'm at with my position, I would be buying it every day still. The only reason I don't is because I'm comfortable. I was able to build on other assets within the ISO and IoT tokens. But I also leave myself open in case XRP comes back through 34.6 to be able to buy it every 20% down without making my average go way up. So, similar approach I used back in 21, except for the fact I was able to top heavy load it this time, instead of having to do it over several transactions. So what is everybody's interpretation right now? In the chat, we've got plenty of people. Do we think we're going to continue moving up? Or do we think we're going to start breaking down here? I would love to know what everybody thinks. There's a lot more to cover on this live. And remember, the power of positivity. The power of love, moreover. If we share the love together, we share it within each other and we embrace it, and we invite and encourage, yes, we'll lose a lot of people, but in the process, we'll gain those kind-hearted ones. And the kind-hearted ones are the ones that help push the issues. Help you feel welcome. But you need that. We need to have a unified... Ooh, this is interesting. Let's see what AI sets XRP's price for Valentine's Day. Just while we're reading. And you'll have time to hit that like button while I read this. So let's see what AI says. So AI sets XRP's, so artificial intelligence, sets XRP for price for Valentine's Day 2024. As the larger part of the cryptocurrency market starts to slow down to last week's gains, XRP is no exception, returning below previously gained 53-cent level. But machine learning and artificial intelligence AI algorithms are optimistic about it, predicting the bullish momentum again by Valentine's Day. Specifically, the advanced AI algorithms used by crypto and stock analytics platform Codex see the price of XRP sharply increasing in the next few days to setting it at 56 cents. So the AI sets it at our 56-cent target at the descending triangle resistance. That's what we're saying we think we need to come up, which would indicate an 8.74% gain compared to its price on February 12th. Traditionally, Valentine's Day over the years has been a mix of bearish, bullish, and middle road price action for XRP, with February 14, 2017 seeing it changing hands at the price of 0.00622, declining in the preceding days and following a similar downward pattern in the days after. That said, the following year's Valentine's Day was massively bullish for the XRP price, in comparison to the year before, witnessing an increase to $1.29 on February 14, 2018, which represented a whopping gain of 18,051.1%, but declining below $1 by the end of the month. The ones who bought it at 0.006 said, who gives a rat's ass that it went below $1 at the end of the month. Meanwhile, the Feast of St. Valentine in 2019 saw a significant decline for the XRP price. Always good to build data up with Valentine's Day looming. At least we can see what the past held, so maybe we can predict the future a little more effectively. There's my water. Awesome. Sorry about that. I needed to grab a drink of water. So, meanwhile, the Feast of St. Valentine in 2019 saw a significant decline for the XRP price, which dropped to a mere 30 cents but went through a slight recovery by the end of February that year, experienced an increase to only 33 cents in the same period in 2020, and declining below 23 cents in later weeks. However, XRP started showing signs of hope again during Valentine's Day in 2021, when its price hit 59 cents, albeit failing to retain the bullish rally in the days and weeks that followed, but making an especially powerful move to 80 cents during the same period in 2022. Again, with some consolidation afterwards. Finally, in 23, XRP felt the negative sentiment related to the courtroom standoff between the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and blockchain company Ripple, which the regulator accused of illegal XRP sales and was trading in the 38-cent zone during the entire month of February. At press time, XRP is changing hands at the 515 level, 51.5 cents, although it is up now over 53 cents. Because when they recorded this one we had that little down tug. Overall, XRP could indeed end up in the optimistic price range set by the AI algorithm, but given the volatility of the asset as well as the crypto market as a whole, it is important to carry out one's own research before investing any significant amount of money in it. So I thought that was interesting. Figured we would read through that. Now we get back into the meat and potatoes, ladies and gentlemen. I want to break this down just a little bit deeper. So if we start looking at XRP within this formation, let's just start to take a closer look at the trading volume now, because this could be flagging here. We did have what looks like a little bit more of a bearish formation right here, which kind of looks more like I don't want to say a gravestone, but it's kind of pulling down in that direction. One couldn't say that for sure, though. So let's see the volume now. So we want to see if we continue to distribute at this level while having the orders to fulfill them the same. So when we first came up, we had 4.21 million in the 2 hourly. Then we had 2.06. So already we've cut almost in half in buyers. Then we had a little bit of resurgence, 2.65. So we're like, okay, maybe we're back on track. Next candle, 1.6. Candle after that, 1.364 million. And right now in about 23 minutes, we've had 218,000. That's a little underwhelming. So either we're running out of steam right at the resistance or we're loading up for the next push up. If that volume continues to push down as it goes up, that's predicting the next move is going to be a little bit of move to liquidity to try to find some support for a further push up. There is nothing, and I mean nothing wrong with this, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a holder of XRP or if you're just trading crypto, you have these times of volatility. We very well could be starting some kind of weird wedge. This is a nice V-shaped recovery here. If we can get above, you might back test this again. But in the very near future, as long as we do find the volume, we'll come up to 56 cents and at least see, are we bullish in this area on this descending triangle that started back on January of 2024. So January 1st, 2nd, right in that area. So right at the start of the new year. Is this pattern going to continue on? Is it bullish and can it break out? Or are we going to get rejected here? And would that prove that we're going to show some kind of bearishness in the chart pattern? We would have to see with the time here. Only time will tell with this kind of a formation. I want my damn emoji. I really did join this morning. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Kyle, to be honest with you. I don't know. I can't see any of that. I don't even get to see anything of anything. All I get to see is the emoji badge next to somebody's name to know somebody joined. That's it. Other than that, they don't send me an email. They don't send me anything. I wouldn't even know unless I see the next to your name in comments and things like that. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know what's going on with that. That's a shame. Give it at least 24 hours. That could be it. Thank you for that, JW. Yeah, SHX. We covered a little bit of it yesterday. These were the levels we were talking about yesterday. And as we can see, it's still playing within. It's still playing this pretty nicely. The support. We've got a resistance above So that's what Stronghold's doing. Man, it's in an interesting spot. We even talked about it a little bit differently yesterday as well. I don't know if anybody was here yesterday when we were talking about this, but we got into a pretty interesting discussion with this, into a deeper chart here. Was anybody here? So it's interesting. We're going to see if this pattern is indeed going to continue moving up or it's going to get beaten down here. This is where we're going to find out a lot. Because it looks like we've got a little cup and handle formation. After the nice dive down now could be a chance unless it dives back into here. That's why it becomes a risk. But it did have a significant pull down here, I remember seeing. So actually a substantial one from just a few days ago. So if somebody was telling you to get into this, you got hammered.
We can't right now.
And you probably shouldn't listen to them. If they told you to buy it at the top, if they were telling you to buy it from the bottom, they knew what they were talking about. And it's not saying that this isn't a bad buy or a good buy. It's just make sure that it holds this formation. Just don't never buy it on the rally top. See if it can hold right here. This is if you were going to take a shot, 9-3 is where you would try to take the breakout shot. Let's just put it that way. That's your breakout shot. So, and it's been working on this for a while. So just monitor your risk, though. Monitor your risk for 100%. Monitor your risk with that. But DXY, I think there's some positivity you should have, though, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kind of day when you watch Bitcoin, when you watch your stuff, and you be thankful you're in spot trading. Be thankful you're not in the leverage positions. Is he? Holy moly. At 727? Hmm. Well, I guess you could go with him. I know. But XRP right now, I mean the US dollar, if we do get a parabolic bounce here, we are on the top side of support. It looks like it's kind of creating a little flag. The technical move would be 105.07. So just monitor that as well with crypto. Because if that does move up, obviously it could be a little bit of a detractor for crypto, but there is no one-to-one correlation between that and cryptocurrency. Despite what everybody says, there's not a real correlation. It's not like precious metals. So crypto is going to do what it wants. It can help exacerbate the price maybe a little lower it looks or a little higher based on the exact dollar value within the US dollar currency index. But right now, we're stuck in a consolidatory moment to see if Bitcoin's consolidated enough here and it's going to hold 50,000 and start pushing up to the next zone, or if we can start breaking back down through the section and then we would have to consolidate more. Somebody said leverage wrecks them. Yeah, leverage is tough. That's why I encourage spot trading in my community. You know, it's just from a standpoint of if you put something in, even if you make the right call sometimes, you can get these volatile spikes. Like think of somebody who might have shorted Bitcoin at 50,000, right? What happens if it goes up to 51, 52 and they're on like a 10, 15x and they get out? And then all of a sudden it reverses down to 47 and they're like, man, I made the right call. And if I was in a spot short, I would have just sat in it. But because I was in a 10 or 15x, you know, or vice versa, you think it's going to go up and then you get a retracement and it causes you to get out real quickly. You know, that's where leverage trading is a real tricky. Do you think Bitcoin will struggle when we move to utility? Not in the way people think. There's something deeper with Bitcoin. It's tied to the big boys. So with that being said, you know, there's no guarantee it just goes away. Like everybody just thinks it's going to go away. Bitcoin's to cryptocurrency what gold and silver is to commodities. It's the best way I can put it. So until, you know, something changes with the way things are done, I don't think Bitcoin's going anywhere, so to say. I just don't think Bitcoin's going to be going anywhere. It's just how much money comes in, and it's the distribution now. It would be the distribution of, instead of having 53.8% of the money, What if Bitcoin's still at the same price and a whole bunch of new money comes in, or it goes up to, let's say Bitcoin goes to 100K, but it's only commanding 41% of the market cap now. So now it's at 100K, but now it's demanding only 40% of the market share. That means instead of 5.3 out of every $10 coming in, you would only have 4 out of every $10 going to Bitcoin. That's a nice way to open up some market cap to other tokens. So that's one way to look at it. When we start surging in the entire volume coming into the cryptocurrency sphere, that could be how you distribute it more to like the alt tokens instead of it all going to Bitcoin. So it doesn't necessarily mean the price isn't going to be where it's at still, but it could definitely be signifying something. But if you're looking at the Bitcoin dominance is market cap, it's starting to reverse here a little bit, which is interesting. I wonder if that's speaking of something new. This could be speaking to something with Bitcoin we're not seeing yet. Or it could just be a quick reversal is going to be had here. But it definitely reversed just a little bit to get some consolidation. So now it makes me wonder about Bitcoin a little bit more. Although it does look a little flaggy there for Bitcoin. So I'm not too worried about it yet. I'm not too worried about a continuation yet. As we know, the top of this expanding, broadening wedge now is at 52,750, and that's if you use the wicks of the wedge. That was how we had it originally, which I kept it like that until we had to highlight the factor here. So then we didn't want to, kind of confuse ourselves. But now that's what you're in. So Bitcoin, if we do take this next layer, and right now, remember we said we wanted to start hot here if we were going to do it. We didn't want to start with like a 700-point drop literally. So Bitcoin right now is starting hot. I know some people in chat said with XRP, oh, it's only 800 or 900 million in volume coming into XRP. That's nothing. It's money. Nobody says it's like 2021 yet, but you go in levels. TT, you be good, buddy. Okay. Copper C, well, come to the party. Hey, what's up, Copper? Welcome in, my friend. I'm glad to see you in here this evening. 87 people in here, 87 likes. You cannot ask for anything more than that. That is an incredible ratio. Thank you, everybody, so much for the belief. You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. Yeah, Julie went to go take our son. He wanted to go out for a ride. Go for a walk or a car ride. He's been doing it every single day now when he gets tired. Normally I would go, but she wanted to do it right now, so she just kind of got up and left. Oh, you're welcome, Jay Slade. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's nice to feel appreciated. But yeah, so that's what we're waiting for. This is exactly what we're waiting for. If XRP is built on a bull flag, or Bitcoin, so is XRP. If Bitcoin moves up, expect all of crypto to have a move up as well. This very well could be that time in history we were waiting for that first leg. This could be that true first leg for us to start getting a little bit of gratification. So I'm just hoping that they don't have something in their back pocket here. Like, wouldn't it be nice for once for Bitcoin to pump up and not just drop 7,000 points right away? Wouldn't it be nice for that to happen just once? Like, if we don't make a new high today, that's where you could expect, where you'd be like, okay, well, Bitcoin only has to go up 400 to a new high. And now it's only got to go up like another, what, about 300 and not even 260 points for a new high? I just want to see the market makers for once follow through on this and not cut our throats here. And by cut our throats, I mean not for the ones who are in spot, but cut the throats of the more, let's just say the leverage traders or swing traders, or the ones who bought in. The ones who I'm most worried about is Bitcoin at 50K, right? How many people do you think just now bought again when they seen it go over 50K for the first time? And sometimes when they set these damn traps up with Bitcoin, everything looks good in the explosive moment. Everything, though, you'll be convinced that that's a bull flag you're seeing. You'll be convinced because it went up to 50,000 that it should continue unabated now to 60 or 70. And then all of a sudden, before you can blink, you look and you're like, well, wait a minute. What the hell's going on? You know, how are we down 6,000? So I want this to be something different. I want Bitcoin to prove right now that 50,000 is the new line in the sand and it opens up a new alt season. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see so bad. And we're so positioned in, ladies and gentlemen. For all of you that have been watching and all of you that participated in FOMO Friday and Winning Wednesdays, don't give up. Don't give up. You've seen something for a reason. We didn't meet by accident. This is destiny. You were destined to find me. Nobody wants to watch me when you first find me. Like that guy, if he's telling the truth, we're all screwed. Nobody wanted to hear what I was saying. But then when you realize what I was saying made sense, we were able to have a plan. We were open and honest with ourselves when we said we got to sell what we have, even though we love it. And it's going to be a long time before we can buy it. And it was like 15, 16 months. We had to be true to ourselves. You know, so it was an interesting learning experience for me within the community. So, why stop here, ladies and gentlemen? Remember in 21 together for the 1,500 of you, if you're in the audience that were with me. I know we have over 20,000 here in 24, which still doesn't seem right. It's crazy that we have that many. But remember when we would talk about the $1.66, if there's anybody in the audience. I don't know if anybody is. Is there anybody in here from 2021? I know a few faces, but I don't just want to put you on the spot. Is there anybody out of the 93 that were in here? We had a very small community back then. Not saying we have the largest community, don't get me wrong. Chris was here in 2021. Excellent. JW says I found him. Ernie, thank you for being in Tom's Army for over a year with the I Told You So badge. What do I think of ADA? I don't hate ADA. It's just ADA is a token that I really want to have, but I have held off on for whatever reason because of who's in on it. And I'm not saying Ripple and all of them have these don't have unsavory characters, but a few of them that are part of ADA just rub me the wrong way, and I'd rather, you know, to put it mildly, invest in rat shit. You know, just because of some of the makers of it. You'd have to read into some of the stuff and who they're linked to. So, Joshua joined at 1,300. Thankful I did. So you went through that whole transition with me, Joshua, and we had to sell it at $1.66 after buying at 47 cents and happened to ride it out through that whole time. Wow. Wow. Jay Slade, Justin's Crypto Mentor 99 mentioned you. Excellent. I miss Crypto Mentor 99. He's still on YouTube. He started doing things slightly different. I still get to comment on his thing every once in a while, but I haven't seen him around here in a long time. I know unfortunately, he fell victim to no, I don't want to get into it. But I think it kind of beat him down for a minute. Made him lose a little confidence, but he's back. Confidence, you never want to lose confidence in the space. And a lot of people do for one reason or the other. And being bamboozled out of your money. Tell me you've not been there. I've been there. Tell me you didn't invest in something in crypto and the next day you're like, wait a minute. Every one of us who's still here has been slapped in the face by this beautiful thing we call crypto, and we figured it out. Or did we? So ADA. This is ADA Cardano. It's said to be taking over certain aspects. But like my one argument is, if I'm going to have ADA Cardano, to me, if you got to go apples to oranges, give me algo over Cardano all day, every day, twice on Sunday, 3 times in the days that don't even exist on another timeline. Even though I've said, and I'll say it again, I kick myself in the you-know-what when I missed this. I had this played out so perfectly, and I said, if it ever came down under 30 cents, I was going to buy this. Just out of principle. And I didn't have to buy 10,000 tokens for $2,500. That wasn't the goal. All I was going to do is buy like 2,500 tokens, and I was going to see how it paralleled to XRP, and I've had an error because when I miss where I don't want to get, I have a hard time because I know the transitional phase. So if this does play out, look at that W it happened to form down there. And it's unfortunate because I had a 2-tier setup on this token. And it was on a different chart and I re-put it in here, but it was a different setup. And it came down a little bit farther than I even thought. So I would have got a better deal. But I was watching ADA Cardano for a very long time when everybody told me to buy it in 21 when it was at $2.50. They said, oh, this is the biggest thing since sliced bread. And I said, listen, if I sold out of XRP at $1.66, that means I think this run is over. That means I can't buy anything and have to be out of everything. So you emailed me your receipt. Well, Kyle, hopefully it'll show up after, like JW said, after 24 hours. There's nothing I can do about that, though, and I feel bad about that because YouTube already does enough to hinder what I do. That's just going to be another slap in the face to our community. But I know you've been in Tom's army. I just can't remember which badge you have. I was going to say it, and I can't remember what badge for the life of me. Do you remember which badge you had last? But what a joke that is. I apologize to you, my friend. That makes me feel awful that YouTube did that. But with Cardano, if you're a fan of Cardano, as long as Bitcoin keeps going up, and we have to keep being cautious of it, because if Bitcoin can, I'm telling you guys, if Bitcoin can hold this 50,000 and start moving, we're literally 1 or 2 little moves up here from Bitcoin confirming an alt season. Because then when it does its retracement, crypto's going to go fucking nuts. If 50,000's the floor in the sand, oh man. It's just, for once, how many of you have been on this journey for over 5 years? Or how many, no. How many of you have been on this journey since 21? Not with me, but just in crypto. How many went through the old run and then have been through this bear market? Or this extended bear market for XRP. You know the difference when something's about to rally. You know the difference when we start to push up. What do we think would have to happen here for this to be sustained? What ended up happening?
We just went around the block.
Oh, okay. Since XRP listed, West Music, wow. You got in early. Excellent. Since it listed on Binance. Excellent. JW says only with me. Few said I have. So yeah, so you all know. So how often have we had this move where it's we feel it? Like, okay, this is it. Like, this is it. Just for it to come back down, give us a big consolidation, and then get right past this level, what, a day or two after the consolidation? So we keep our eyes open to make sure that exact same thing isn't playing true. But at the same time, we sit here with our arms like this. Because while everybody was panicking, when everybody said that Bitcoin was going down to 10,000, when everybody thought it was over, I begged and pleaded with my community and said, start accumulating now. Bitcoin's hit the bottom because of what the Fed said. Jerome Powell came out and said, he came out and said, or one of his patsies said, we're done printing money, or we're done tightening. We're going to be expanding the budget, which means you're going back into quantitative easing, which meant that there was no cap anymore on the tightening restriction. That's good for crypto. That's good for any stock market, crypto, anything that's publicly traded. So once that happened, I said, uh-oh. Now they got us in a catch-22, and I told everybody, you got to buy now. And we've done nothing but explode since even XRP gets bagged on. XRP was at about, at the bottom. I think it went back down. I don't think it quite hit under 30 cents. I know it hit 34 again around that time. That might have been the time it hit around 29.5 cents. And then it came right back up real quick. So even at my 34 cents, that's not the bottom. The only thing that I bought was at 28 cents, as everybody knows who was watching, and I sold it at just about 50, what was it? No, not 50. I don't even remember what it was now, 40 something probably, because we seen the retracement. It was the start of the double bottom, and then that's when I bought back in at 34.6. So that's where we're at right now. And now we're waiting on Bitcoin. We're begging Bitcoin, just do your job. Just do your job. Get us to 55. Get us to 55K and let us start seeing 30% moves. You know how awesome it would be for me to come back in 24 hours or 48 hours and be like, hey guys, XRP's up 37% today. Then we come back again and it's up 40. I've been here before. I was here in 21 doing this exact same thing. To finally feel like something could be starting. It's the first time I felt this in my gut, in my grotesques, since 2021, when they all dropped out. At first, I had the greatest euphoric feeling of all times. Live on air, we built a profile from $3,500, roughly, up to over 17,000 at its peak. Between everything we had. So, to see this start to transpire again, right now we started with a portfolio of about 7,000. So we doubled our portfolio together. We had extra funds, and we were able to build precious metals holdings together as I put some $10,000 of those profits into gold and silver, mainly silver at strategic points from then. After that, it's a tremendous crash in 21 into 22. It was amazing timing. And now this time around, to see, we're only right here in my portfolio, and I like to keep it transparent. We're already up to over 12,500 right now. We haven't even done anything. My portfolio peaked at about 17, almost 18,000 in 21. To say it's already at over 12,500 right now, and we haven't even done anything, just think of where we could go. If we repeat 21, instead of us being at 18,000 together, we could be talking 50, 60,000 this time around. 100,000, you don't know. It's just, at some point, this is all going to blow up. And everybody thinks that crypto is just this big joke. And they beat you over the head. That's what they do. And I'll continue to tell you, I am in this to win it. I didn't buy it in the cents to sell it in the cents. I didn't buy this at 50 cents or 50. I didn't buy it at 34 cents to sell it at 90. I bought it at 34 cents to at minimum sell it for that first all-time high push at $3.50, 10x my money, and then on the retracement buyback. Or what I would do is just sell 50% is probably what I would do. Keep 50% of it, and then as it comes back down, try to buy it, at a certain level. But I'm a kind of a wholesaler, nothing kind of guy myself. But no, I understand that completely about that's why I said Bitcoin hasn't ushered in an alt season yet. That's why I said if Bitcoin can push a few more levels up before the reversal, and then as it retraces back down to 50K, alt could start to explode. Let's say we went to 55, 56, 58. Oh, let's fantasize. 65. Oh, could you imagine if we went to 65? The other cool thing right now about talking, not a bear market rally anymore. What do you mean? In what aspect, sir? I don't know. Are you trying to flex on me right now? I don't appreciate that you're trying to flex on me. Don't you see, sir, how long my hair already is? Because XRP, don't you think my hair's flexing on me enough? My hair's telling us we haven't been to $1 in a while. I promised the community I would not cut my hair until XRP hit $1, and this was in July of last year. I'm a 40-year-old man. I'm lucky I even have hair. By the time we hit $1, it might all be gone. But no, XRP by no means is in a bull market. XRP is still in a bear market. You can start to say with XRP, and that's an excellent take, my friend. It's an excellent take. I thought you said $3, Tom. With what? Oh, yeah, well, $1 was the first chance I could get to cut it. I often speculated about not selling it until XRP got to all-time highs so that we could really see a real depiction. Because $1, I think, would be the easy way out. And Julie's all behind it. And that's not just my hair. That's also the goatee. And I know it's harder to see. Hold on. I know it's harder to see because I like to be in the dark like this when it's this time of the day, just because of the how I like to do things. Unless I'm outside, but the old goatee's getting pretty long too. This isn't by accident, folks. So, not by accident. And I don't know what color I'm gonna dye it next. Usually I just do it black. What do you mean back hair? Oh, you mean like my back? Grow the back hair out? Growing his toenails till XRP is $50. Nope. Julie would definitely not like that, ladies and gentlemen. If I could you imagine if I grew my toenails out until XRP at $50? I'd have long. I don't even know who would be the proper conspirator or the proper comparison. But ladies and gentlemen, think about it. Let me put this into perspective. All the work we've done since 21 together. I know it was only 1,500 people to start when the run ended, but now we have over 20,000. You guys have built a portfolio with me that you should be proud of if you have been building. How many people in here actually have built with me while I've shown you during Winning Wednesdays and FOMO Fridays and every step of the way when I was accumulating? Who accumulated XRP, XLM, XDC, DGB, VChain, ZIL, Solo, Corium, Gala, Algo? What else did we? Doge. The Doge coin with Julie. What else do we have, Julie? I'm missing some.
Whole bunch.
I'm missing a couple.
Lana, Casper.
Oh yeah, Casper. Good call, Julie.
Look at me.
I know, Julie. Wow, I'm actually really impressed. Casper, and then there's oh yeah, H bar. Duh, H bar. Hey JW, it's not about the amount. It's about the journey. And remember, it's not about how you get there. Or I mean, it's not about the end with the journey. It's not about when you get to the end. It's all about what happens to get there. That's the journey. The best part of the journey is when things are actually moving to it. Once you get to the end, it's too late. Once you get to the end, it's too late. You have to have the conviction. ZIL is another one. ZIL, Flare's another one. We've had Flare since 0085. How happy are we now that we dropped a whole what? Well, I have a little more than 10,000, but $85 for 10,000 shares. What did I tell everybody? Be out of your mind not to buy this at 80. This is right where we bought it. We had no choice. It bent us over. I told you. I don't buy unless it forces me, and it forced me. I didn't even get the bottom. It went to 0079, but it forced us. I came on the air and said, guys, we got to buy it. It's over. It's going way up. I said, you don't have to listen to me, but it's not even $100. So please do yourself a favor. If you're mad at XRP, give it a chance with its brother in Flare. You know, so there are times to be excited, and this is one of them. But don't give up. Like, this is the time. If you give up now, I believe a lot of people are going to legitimately bash their heads through the wall. Because you're going to say, I wasted all this time, and then I just gave up for what? To sell back into the US dollar? I'm so cash poor, you guys would laugh at me. Because I have my stuff in precious metal. Precious metals, I have my stuff in, obviously, my cryptocurrencies. I have some in commodities. B2 Gold, as you know, about 4,000 right now. And I hope everybody was following my lead with B2 Gold. You should be in right now at $2.63. If not, it's still at $2.64. That's where I started my line in the sand, 263. Every 20% down from here, and or $400 a month until it gets back up past my high is where it would be. And then I'm using that money that's how you create cash flow. But I'm cash poor because I don't believe in the US dollar. I have just enough to live, if not even enough to live. But I have a lot of credit because I have good credit. So basically I can just use credit, pay it off. You know, sometimes build it up a little higher until you have a higher time of cash flow. But you start working the system a little bit so you don't have to necessarily use your own assets, and you can start building them for the times. And that's what I'm doing. I don't trust the bank at all. I don't trust cash much either now. I don't trust anything a lot now. Silver and gold, ammo and crypto. What else is there? Jeff, I agree, and I believe in them all. But if you came to me and asked me for like a huge loan, I'd be like, well, I'm sorry, but where would you like me to get that kind of capital? You know, because I do things a little different. My dad, I think it drives him insane, but he understands now. It took him a long time. But I'm positioned for something that most people haven't even thought about in our country. And that's where we're at right now. So but yeah, that's what I got, everybody. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you appreciate what I do, please make sure to hit that like button, please. And consider joining Tom's Army and paying it forward. We're struggling here these last few months. I believe we'll turn it around, and I believe it's also a time because everything's been going down. We're also getting towards tax time, so that's another thing. But consider paying it forward. Help keep this funded so that I can keep doing what I love to do each and every day. Consider sending YouTube Super Chat if you don't want to join Tom's Army. Other than that, just pay attention to Bitcoin at 50K. If we can somehow hold 50K and we can start to make this a line in the sand, you know we're built up. The pressure is built up with XRP. It's built up with all of our cryptos. And at some point, there's a lot of people not in crypto right now. There's a lot of people watching probably right now that are not back in crypto because they feared it, but you'll end up buying back in if XRP's up 75%. Or if Bitcoin, now it's at 50,000. You know how many people didn't do what they were talked like they should have been doing when Bitcoin was at 30 and 25? But now that it's at 50, they're trying. Not realizing that you have to have a plan in place, because even if you buy here, there's more than not a chance that there has to be a retracement now at some point. We're running out of time before a retracement, but what does that mean for the alts? That retracement could be what sets the alts up. It's just if Bitcoin doesn't conquer this 50,000 in the sand, and that's all it is a line in the sand, but it's a very, very, very big motivational zone. Maybe the biggest motivational zone that we have. If you get above 50K, do you realize we haven't been above 50K since 22, I believe? I believe it was 2022, the last time Bitcoin was above 50K, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look here. Let's see where we hit 59. This didn't hit it. I mean, you have to go back to this formation over here, roughly. Yeah, 22. And it was early 22, like December, January. So like January 22. So it's been a couple years since we've hit 50,000. It's been a long consolidation. The question is can we push out of here? So thank you, everybody. It's been an honor and a privilege. Have a blessed evening, and I'll see you next time.